Hello everybody. We are looking at chapter 21 in the book of Revelation, verse 1. This is page 250 in my book right here, Revelation Unsealed and Unveiled. And that verse says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea." What does it mean, no more sea? I think that an old English word for no more oceans. Well, what has happened here, we are at the end of the millennium. Of course, the tribulation is over. We are at the point where this earth has been restored back to the condition before Adam's sin and the fall. Genesis chapter 1 verse 6 to 8 talks about God made the firmament. What is a firmament? That's what we want to look at today. Well, the firmament was before the flood. It fell during the flood onto the earth. The firmament was a vapor canopy about 10 miles up in the air, and it reflected harmful sun's rays onto the earth. In those days, under the firmament, people lived very long lives and there was luxurious growth. Now, during the flood, God touched the firmament and it collapsed onto the earth. So much water that it actually covered the entire earth with water. Now this has been investigated for many years by creation scientists, people who believe in the Bible and the authenticity of the Bible, and they study the science related to the Bible, and they've been studying the firmament for many years. I refer you to the Creation Evidence Museum in Texas. Carl Bough, B-O-U-G-H, PhD, describes on the internet how it is held up. The firmament is held up by becoming crystallized. Otherwise it'd fall down. Well, this massive structure fell down during the flood, covered the entire earth with water, and now this water covers about 2/3 of the earth's surface. Now, during the tribulation, God's purpose was to destroy, get rid of, and remove all effects of the sin, all effects of the fall, and all the damage that it's done to the earth. We got to get the world back to the condition of the Garden of Eden. During tribulation, there was a very great heat, several times. It was so great that it scorched men, the Bible tells us. This heat was so great that it evaporated the water in the oceans up into the firmament. It also melted the polar ice caps. So when all that water is removed, we could possibly have 2/3 land instead of 2/3 water. The firmament is reestablished at the end of tribulation by this evaporation. Now at the same time, there's great earthquakes during the time of the tribulation. Enormous earthquakes. So great that we learn in Isaiah 24, the earth actually reels in space. So that changes the shape of the earth. It also undoubtedly moved continents around, and it could even create more new continents that we didn't know that were there. The result is we don't have any oceans anymore, but we do have water, and we do have smaller seas distributed over the whole world. And the world is like a paradise, a Garden of Eden, finally. So the world is under this greenhouse effect that the firmament allows to happen. And life goes back like it did in Adam's time to long life. Vegetation goes back to abundant growth. Experiments that have done by creation scientists trying to duplicate the effects of the firmament show that vegetables grown under those conditions are enormous, much larger than our current shriveled up vegetables, and much more nutritious and good for us. So at least this is a way to understand what happened to the oceans in this new world that we're going to enjoy before we leave to go to the New Jerusalem. Next week we're going to talk about that New Jerusalem that's going to be sent down from heaven, somewhere up into space above the earth. For Christians, it's a wonderful thing because we are going to live in the New Jerusalem. We'll talk about that more next week. So until that time, thank you very much.